You're tuned in to Porch Talk with Rev Pat, where raw, real talk rules. So sit back and relax with that delicious cup of coffee or tea or your favorite glass of wine as Rev Pat delivers real, transparent, and raw conversations about all things life. Let's get started.
Welcome, and welcome to your most recent episode of Porch Talk with Rev Pat. And on the porch with me today, I have Vatrice Chestnut, and she is a branding expert. And let me tell you what she does. I'm gonna actually read what she does because I am so impressed every time I see a young woman that's out there doing the things that she does. She is a branding coach. Let me see, I had it right here. She's a branding coach. She helps small businesses learn how to position like the big brands. She's a mom. She says her motto is she's been there, done that. So she knows what she's talking about. She's saying when we say we've been, y'all know what that means. When we've been there, done that, that means that all of the mistakes that we've made and learned from, we're willing to give you the way to do it the right way. That's what been there, done that means. Before we leave, she's going to share with us ways that you all can set up and schedule a free consultation. I asked her to do that, but I want her to talk about being a mom and doing all that she does. So we're going to delve right in, but what you need to do is grab a cup of coffee, grab your tea. If you want to, grab your glass of wine, and let's get talking. Vatrice, I'm already in love with you. I already told you that. I'm scheduling my free. But I really do. I really do. I want to know, how do you do all that you do and balance it, being a mom? Because I was a single mom too. And momming is not easy. I almost said ain't, but that's the salt. That's the
that's what it is. It ain't easy.
Being a mama ain't easy. So how do you balance that? Balance everything that you do.
Well, let me tell you a little bit of background. I never wanted children. Okay, there it is. My three sons know that. So it's not like I'm making a huge announcement.
3 boys.
3 boys.
And you're not gray-headed? 3 boys.
No.
Okay.
No. Here's the thing. With those 3 sons, there are huge gaps. So I'll just throw out their ages: 28, 23, and 14. Okay.
Ooh. Oh.
So with those huge gaps and me not wanting children and ending up with 3, because we can have our own plan, but God's plan is the only one that stands.
Not ours.
So I said, okay, this is pretty much, I'm gonna run this like a team or a corporation. Everybody's gonna have their roles, and we're all going to do what we're supposed to do according to our roles. When you don't do your roles, you get fired. You won't get fired from the family, but there are consequences for your decisions, and you have the freedom to make those decisions. So my children grew up knowing there were consequences for not being a team player on this team.
Wow.
I balanced it all because I delegate. I don't believe in being the mom that does any and all and everything, because we were delivered from slavery years ago, and I was not going to sign up to it again. So I can balance it because I have the time, because I've delegated many of the responsibilities to members on the team. So a house doesn't run without everybody on the team participating. I do not exercise any chores alone. Everybody has a role. We don't have gender-based roles like the boys just take out the trash or the girls just do the cook. We don't have gender-based roles because a house doesn't function based on whether something is male or female. It's either done or not done.
Now y'all know why y'all need her as a coach. She just told y'all why y'all need her as a coach. You don't even have to go no further, Mama. I got you.
Okay.
And now I know that's why we need you as a coach. So that's it. I might make a T-shirt that says, "We don't have gender roles here. We have all the house just needs to be clean." She don't care if you're
Right.
female or nothing. That is so. And you know what? With a mom like that and sons, that's got to function right. I had
Well,
girls. I had girls.
I can say
And being around
that.
boys, oh my God, that's a whole nother. I wouldn't.
Yes, they have different energy levels, but I can say this, when they come in with order and structure in place, it's difficult for them to buck, although personality comes out, but they were just proud of the team. And so I'll just tell you, when you have your oldest brother who's a professional dancer with a national dance company, he does photography, you see him living his dream, then you understand that the process works.
That makes sense.
So then you have the second one who becomes a very talented audio engineer. Okay.
Wow.
And the third one is an actor and a musical artist, has been working for 10 years.
Wow.
So they have, the male species has this competition among themselves. And so amongst the three brothers, it's like, what you been doing? Have you been slacking? I don't see you talking about nothing you working on. So that created that level of accountability.
So
and
they get all of that creativity from you, because I'm listening at what you're saying they do, and it's all creative based. It's all within the creative arena.
Yes, my bloodline, my mom's family. My grandfather was a fine artist. He has worked at the Schomburg. He has worked in Harlem. My grandmother was a singer in the Cotton Club. My uncle was a professional tennis player and an opera singer. So I have a bunch of creativity that flows through my mom's side of the family.
So creativity came to you just naturally.
Exactly.
Please explain to them. I love the explanation you gave for a creative entrepreneur.
That is a person who can make things or help you develop visually based on what your business needs. So for instance, Affinity Media Consulting can write your brand story, help you develop your brand assets, and also we can make things. So creative entrepreneurs bring life to your business.
So got me on the edge of my seat. Because I say that because I don't know how I got it. My oldest brother was an actor, so maybe I could say my oldest brother, but none of my other family members are creatives. But I am. And when I can't, I'm gonna say, I don't know if this, maybe you can relate to this. When I can't create things, there's just something off kilter in my world. I'm always trying to get like the business stuff that I do now. I'm trying to get that under control. Really, I can tell you why I want to, because I want to pull my sewing machine out. I want to, I'm not a sewist. Like I saw that word and I went, what the heck is a sewist? But if I really took the challenge and said, somebody said, do you want, but I really wanted to, it was a simple thing. I saw a pillow and I said, I want to learn how to make pillows. Never made one a day in my life. Went by the sewing machine. My husband went, what are you going to do with a sewing machine? And I'm like, I'm going to make me pillows. I'm going to teach myself how to make pillows. And I just went to YouTube University, watched a couple of, and decided that's what I want to do. So, but that creative in me, it has to be something. If it's sublimation, making cups, if it's making this, I have to have something that brings out that creative in me. And I just love it. So I love when you say, we take your story and we bring it to life. And I think that's what creatives do. We take that stuff that's in our brains and we just bring it to life. I don't know, God is just so good that he would deposit that kind of gift in me. That's how I feel about it. I can look at something, or I can be working on a piece of content and just look at it and it just doesn't look right for me. And it could be just one word missing. I can have one word or swap it, and then I go, now that will work. And I don't know why our brains work that way, but I think people need to understand how creatives think. We sometimes you're talking in our brains, and when you said one thing and we said, you still here? I'm way over here. But I understand you. I understand you and I hear you, but you said something and my brain is already cooking it on this side of my brain. I'm here, right here, but my brain's going, now that just sounds, how could I do that? And that's in my head. And when I get through talking to you, I'm going to try to figure out how to do that thing. So when you take our brands and you bring them to life, and I know that you're a graphic artist, which I really do. Graphic designer, am I saying it right? Graphic designer or graphic artist?
Graphic design.
Because artist is different than graphic.
They actually draw. And they may actually
draw. Okay.
They may convert it to a digital format, but they're actually drawing. Yeah.
And a graphic designer
is all computer based.
All computer based. Wow. Wow. I love that idea, but I can't draw a stick on a piece of paper. So let me not even mess with that. So you incorporate that into the branding portion of what you do. Now, for those of us, and I did this specifically for people in my audience that are leaping in, taking that leap of faith and starting their own companies and don't understand the concept of branding. And can you just explain to them the importance of branding, in layman's terms? So that, because when I got it, it went all over my head until I had to keep hearing it and keep hearing it. Can you kind of break down why branding is so important across the board?
Okay. Branding is a term that I have seen in the last 5 years become very sexy. Everybody's throwing it around. So that's why that confusion typically exists. But branding is how you do your business, and what about your business is going to attract the people who you can solve problems for. So it goes far beyond a logo. If you can think about it, the way I can best describe it to you is when you go into a Lexus dealership. Say you have a Lexus and you go in to have your car serviced. There you may find tablets. Someone's going to greet you within 30 seconds of crossing the threshold. You're going to be offered some type of refreshment. There's nice music playing. The TV is not so loud. All of that is the process of the way Lexus wants to engage their clients.
Okay.
So branding has to do with the way you operate your business. A lot of people start with a logo. I need a logo. I'm starting a business. I need a logo. But we haven't determined who we're going to serve, how we're going to serve them, and how we're going to follow up with them after we serve them. We need all of this defined to really do a good logo.
That's true. That's true. Let me jump in. That's true. Because like I told you before we started, I've had a couple of people do logos for me. And do you know, looking at the logo, because I know what I want to represent, none of them said PAC to me. They weren't bad logos. Let me say that. They weren't bad logos. They were excellent logos. But when I looked at them, they didn't convey me. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
In a simplistic term.
Even going deeper, yes, even going deeper, what you were looking for is for it to convey you and who you're trying to help so that they're attracted to that.
Yes, yes. That's what I'm saying. It didn't do that for me. I- Because am I wrong? Because I'm asking these questions as someone just starting out, because these were the questions that I had in my head. For me, I always look at things from the perspective of the person that I want to serve. Does that make sense?
Yes,
It's
that
just
is
like
right.
when I'm talking to someone, talking something out with someone, I'm talking because it's me. Let's say I'm talking about an episode, I'm talking about the episode and I'm talking about my guests, but I'm talking from the perspective of the person that's listening, not necessarily me. I don't, it's a weird thing, kind of. Even if we're
Yeah,
tossing things about with my producer and she'll say something, and I said, but that wouldn't work. If I were the consumer, that wouldn't work with me. And I'm just answering
right.
that question based on if I were the consumer, if I were the person, that would not work with me. And she goes, really? And I go, no, we need to tweak that a little bit and we need to do this or we need to do that, because that's where my mentality is. And I think that comes from probably the jobs that I've had before I retired. And I was in a quote unquote service because I worked in medical offices and I had to deal with people all the time. And there was a certain way, there was a certain perspective I had. If Vatrice came in and Vatrice wasn't happy, I wanted to understand from Vatrice's perspective what didn't work. I couldn't answer her based on these are the rules and this is what they say. So the same thing you're saying with branding, why get a logo if you have not determined all the most important pieces to the business, which is who is your audience, right? How are you going to serve them? Is that the second one? And
Yes, it is.
what's the other piece?
And what you're going to deliver to them. So
Oh,
how
okay.
you serve them is you walking up to that person in the medical office and saying, what's the problem? You know, why are you sad? Why are you unhappy? What do you need changed? And then it's, hey, I have a solution. Here's what we can do. So a lot of times we have an idea that we haven't really thought out, and we're ready to start working on the logo when actually we should continue the process of determining what we're going to do and how we're going to run this business. Because in my coaching program, I tell people in one of the modules, your business isn't about you at all. It's about the people you serve. It's about taking them from unhappy to happy.
You think that is that one of the pitfalls? Because you have common mistakes that business owners make when starting a business. Is that one of the pitfalls, that they forget that the business is not about them, it's about the people that they're serving?
Exactly.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, chew on that for a minute. And you make money by solving people's problems. So if you haven't really tapped into what problems you're going to solve and how you're going to do that, then you can guarantee that your business is going to be what it is probably right now, a hobby.
She said it's a hobby.
It's a hobby.
I had to stop writing. You see my head went up. She said it's a hobby. Is that what you're doing right now? That's a hobby. That is not a business. Wow. So why do we interchange business owner, entrepreneur, business owner, entrepreneur?
Just two different words. They should mean the same thing, because an entrepreneur should be making money and a business owner should be making money.
Okay. Okay. Because maybe some people feel like they're thinking, okay, a business, I'm just a business person. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm just a business person. Have you heard people say that? Or do you
I
think?
haven't, but I would say they are interchangeable. I wouldn't think that one
Okay,
discredits the other. They're synonyms. Yeah.
look, Vatrice said that's a synonym. Y'all can use whatever word you want to use. Call yourself what you want. You making money, you're an entrepreneur. You're not doing anything about your business, it's a hobby. She just
It's a
made it
hobby.
real clear.
Mhm.
That's a hobby. Your end game is to get your act together. Let's put the logo aside. Let's figure out the basics and focus on your customer and not you. Your business is not your own. And see, I can relate to that because ministry is not me. Ministry has nothing to do with
Right.
nothing. Ministry, what I do as a minister has nothing to do with me. So that perhaps is a very easy thing for me to understand, even with the podcast, because I'm not even thinking about me. My interest, yes. The whatever that light bulb is that makes me want that particular person on the porch with me, yeah. But that second piece right underneath that, what thing of value can they bring to my audience? Period. If it's
Yeah.
not of value, then that's it.
Mhm.
If I can't come up with a value, a reason, and so let me ask you something. Like my podcast,
Mhm.
my podcast is a variety of things. You're not going to hear the same thing every week. You're going to get something different from every person that comes on here. And I love it like that. I love it like that. But then I hear somebody else giving a crash course on podcasting, and they start talking about all of these tick, 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 and I'm like, I do none of that. I do none of that. And how do you coach against imposter syndrome, which is so easy to fall into? And
That
explain to them what I mean by imposter syndrome, because I'm gonna tell you, it's real, and you really have to be confident in what you're doing and who you are, not to fall down that rabbit hole. That just hit
I
me, by the
agree.
way. I know I didn't mention that in the pre, but that just hit me. Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, so that's a great question. And here's how I deal with it, how I approach it. In week 2 of the coaching program, we're going to guide you through adopting a success mindset. So there are 10 lessons that are in week 2 that help you get rid of the lies you believe. You have worksheets. You have also with the program, it's hybrid. So 2 days out of the week, you're with me in a virtual setting. So I can get feedback from you and help you get over any hurdles you have. But some of the things we cover is the lesson 1 is do a mental detox before you seek to adopt a success mindset. Second thing, assume that you can change.
What's the mental detox? I
I'm
know
sorry.
what's the mental detox?
It's when we get rid of all the gook, the lies that you've been telling yourself, the little whispers that tell you you don't know how to do this, you can't really do this. See, I have to get you out of the way so we can be successful together. And the only way we can do that is doing a detox, because you have got to, once you clear out all the toxic thoughts, behaviors, and beliefs that you have, then we can replace that with the good stuff that's going to get you where you need to be. A healthy person has to do a detox.
Yeah.
For them to become healthy, they have to do a detox. And that is what you'll do in week 2.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you, people are blown. Those who have gone through my course and still going through the course, they still refer back to lessons in week 2 when they hear themselves going back down that rabbit hole.
Because it's
So
easy
they
to do. It's easy to do. Even if you know, even if you're aware of the possibility, it is. You hear, I mean, it's like you hear one thing and you're almost drawn back to that place that had you so scared to even step out on faith and do what you're doing. And it's a discipline to say, you know what, time to shut that down, or time to regroup. My thing is, I'll put on what I'll do is I'll start listening to some sort of faith-based motivational book. Faith-based, not self-help. That's two different things to me. Faith-based, that's rooted in the word, that reminds me who I am. And I do that for about 2 or 3 days, whatever length of time I need, just to wash that out. And I'm not just saying that, just to wash that out of my brain, because I don't want it to settle back in there. So they do the mental detox, and then they do, what's the
it's 10 lessons that's basically part of the mental detox. And there are worksheets. And when you come into the group on Mondays and Thursdays, there's other members, and everybody's in a different place in the journey through the program. So other people are going to chime in and basically hold you up, support you, give you positive reinforcement. And I do have a few tough love sessions that I have, where I have to just
y'all
say,
better believe that, because she raised
hey,
2 boys. You better believe there's some tough love going on. You better believe.
Right. Hey, we've been here. We've done this. What does this look like? Remind yourself of this. What do you need to do to get beyond this? Because we've already had success in this area, and I need you to choose not to be unsuccessful. And what does that mean? People have cut some people out of their lives for a period of time until they felt like they were strong enough to deal with whatever that is. In the first week, Reverend Pat, we do a thing called the never again list.
Uh-oh.
That's where you're going to go through relationships, jobs, anything with your family, all of that. And you're going to write a list of never again will I do XYZ.
Have a list. No, I just two, 3 people just popped on the list.
Now let me balance that out by saying
You're gonna give me my A.
People.
That's okay. You're gonna give me my A.
It's not just people. You can say, never again will I not exercise or have some type of wellness program in my life, some wellness practice or ritual that I do. It's other things like that as well. Okay, so we're not just shutting people out.
Okay, but if there's a category for folk, I have a couple of them I can put on there, and just I'd be real good at that, like never again. Don't even worry about it. Really. And see, I love just hearing, and you know you're gonna have to come back, because this is just touching, man. This is not, I didn't expect this. I really didn't, because and I apologize, because I've heard so many coaches talk about stuff, and it went so far over my head. Some stuff stuck. Let me say this, some stuff stuck, and other stuff was just like, that's so out there, you know, or whatever, or it made me feel as if I'm out of my league. No. But these, what you're talking, that stuff that will resonate with me and will work well with me. I want to ask you a question about someone like me that's maybe out there that might have this question. I'm a podcaster, and I keep getting all of these things I told you about, monetizing and stuff like that. And when I hear the word monetize, let me tell you what I hear. That just literally is a no-go. Sales. That's what I hear when I hear monetize. I don't hear what I really need to hear when I hear the word monetize, because that to me means that I've got to go and sell myself. And that's just not part of my nature. Even though I would love to have some, I would love to do that, because I'm not in this just to be, okay, I did it, I did it, and that's good. No, I want to be whatever level of success I can, God will bless me with this. I want to do that. But it's a me thing that it's hard for me to even take the word monetize and not see I've got to sell myself, because that's just not easy for me. I love what I do, and I, in the same time, I'll go, well, I'm just me. I don't want to have to go sell me. I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? Do you coach people that have that mentality? Oh,
Yeah, because I
I'm not the
had
only one.
been there,
Oh,
done
good.
that.
Oh, thank you. Because I'm glad I'm not the only one, because it is driving my producer absolutely out of her mind. I know it is. Because, I don't know if I don't want to, you know.
It has to do with the value, how valuable you see yourself.
I do see
So
myself
isn't it?
value. That's what's so crazy. Because if I did do it, brother, you paying top dollar, because that's how I think. But just my nature is so laid back. It's like my husband did sales. My husband did sales. Excellent at it. And I would listen to him sometimes, and I would go, I could not do that. I don't even want to sell a chocolate bar, or cookies or candies for the kids, for the high school. I don't want to do that. So it's not knowing my value. It's just that part of anything is an aversion for me. I don't know what it stemmed from, because I'm not that girl that you want to be on here? Yeah, 75. Don't show up, 75. You late, 75. That's me. But now make me go do that. It's like my producer said yesterday. It's like I'm dragging a dog on a chain that doesn't want to walk.
Because here's this thing about value. It has two pieces to it.
Okay.
There's theory and there's execution. You have the theory down.
I need the execution. I got the
You
theory
need the
down.
execution. So maybe it's that you have a mental block in seeing sales as trying to coerce or motivate somebody to do something. But on the other hand, what you need to do is flip it and say, I'm going to educate them so they can see the value in this, and then let them decide.
That sounds good. Because I can't have that kind of, but that sounds so crazy, doesn't it? I am a minister. So I mean, the idea,
you do it all day.
You do
it all day, every day.
All day I do. And I know people are like, but you're so good at it. I'm like, at what? That's different. That's the word. He's doing the work. That's not me. But when it comes to that portion of it, I know my producer's almost, if she could fire me, she could, but she can't, because I'm not going anywhere. I'd be like that boyfriend that won't leave you alone, that keeps leaving messages on your phone and texting you 1,000 times, where you at, where you at, where you at. She knows I'm not going anywhere. But but I needed to know that I'm not the only person that deals with that, because it is so. But the education part now, that
you can do all day.
To me, like that's different. Now that's almost like a challenge with me. The educate. Let me tell you what, and it's so okay. So now that we got past the crazy people like me, that you already had to deal with now, so that you already know, if you get me, you already know what you're dealing with. Please tell them how they can go about scheduling a free consultation with you. And y'all, we're not through with this conversation, because I'm gonna have to have her come back and do a part 2, because we did not, there was we did not get to, did we answer why is branding important? Or did we?
I don't think so. Well,
No,
I think we did inadvertently, because it's important, because it defines how you're going to do business. So it defines who you connect with, who's your target that you can solve problems for, how you're going to solve those problems, and what you're going to give the person when you solve the problem. All of that incorporates branding. Visual assets are just a piece of that process. So it's about the operations, the foundation, and how you're going to implement everything.
Now, you have, what is a dream client? Is that a question for you or a question for all of us, that when it comes to branding, should we be asking ourselves, what is a dream client?
You should be asking it. Yeah.
Not just
So people
avatar.
call it your target audience.
Your target audience, or draw an avatar, or talk to an avatar, or make an avatar.
Okay, so the dream client is a person who needs my services. I can solve their problems. They understand the way I work after I introduce it to them, and they're willing to work that way. Okay, so for instance, if you wanted to go start the coaching program, but you want to start on part 2 instead of part 1, or you want to jump around, you're not my dream client, because you're not willing to follow the journey path. And the way the program is written, it builds, each lesson builds one on top of the other until you get to the end result. You can accomplish things in between, but if I have a person jumping around like popcorn, they're not going to get the results that I can give them. So they're not my dream client.
Oh,
And I do this in a way where I can discover those things through questionnaires. During a consultation, I'm going to ask you questions like that. Are you a person that pretty much follows a path step by step, or are you one who likes a lot of variety and you jump around? I know you're not my dream client. And it's not about just you being a person I want to work with. It's, I want to solve these problems for you.
mm-hmm.
And I can't do that in this way with the coaching program if you're not going to follow the journey.
That makes such perfect sense. Me, I have a real problem. Well, we'll talk about that. Me and the avatar thing. I'm like, don't ask me that again. I'm so sick of that avatar and whatever. I don't know if they 25 or 50 or whatever, because what I do reaches can be relatable to any age group beyond the age of 18, 19, and in some ways, maybe it could be somebody young. So there you go. That's a whittle that down. I don't know how to whittle that down, but at least I want, because the people, those that are in my audience that are considering becoming entrepreneurs, a lot of stuff we don't know. We find out on the fly. And that's why I was so excited to have you here, because the whole thing about branding, learning about, the importance of branding was an eye opener for me, because then it gave me something to, it was like giving me direction before I even got in the water, basically. Okay, so here's what I want to present. Here's what I want people to see. I know they're going to see me, but I want everything about me to be reflected in everything that I do. And I heard something that really clarified for me the importance of branding. And I don't know why this person even used this analogy, but it was one that really resonated with me, because Coca-Cola is my favorite brand, right?
Okay.
Coca-Cola. And I just thought to myself, and this person was using Coca-Cola as an example. And he said, when you think about Coca-Cola, what do you think about? What do you see in your mind's eye when you see Coca-Cola? I saw red. Red and white, immediately. Red and white. And he said, well, I think that was the question was, what colors do you see? And I said, I'm like, red and white, because this was like an online course. And he said, if you think about Target, what color do you see? Red and white, right? Target, red and white. And he said they're the same color, same colors, but in your mind, they mean two different things. You associate them with two different things. But the power of it's not the fact that you know they do two different things. It's the power in the branding attached to the two companies that you know they do two different things. And I went, oh, okay. So in other words, what he was talking to us about is get out of your head, the imposter syndrome that this person uses this color and everybody knows her for that color, that color. Get that out of your head. When you're branding yourself, you brand yourself. Your branding will separate you from anybody else that does what you do, no matter what theirs look like. It's the power in what you present. And I never, now that was like a light bulb went off in my head because I had never, on the fly, just on the real. Do you ever think about Target and Coca-Cola had the same branding colors? I don't think about that.
I do because we go through color theory.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking to the audience. Y'all, you think about the fact that Coca-Cola and Target are the same colors. We don't. We just know it's Target and we just know it's Coke. But if I'm in the store and I'm looking for a Coca-Cola, a case of Coke, what color am I looking for? I'm looking for that red carton with that white writing, and I know that's Coca-Cola, period. I'm not pulling up at Walmart and mistaking that blue sign for Target. I'm never going to pull up in a Walmart and go, oh, man, I thought this was Target. It's not going to happen. So that kind of sort of helped me to understand the importance of branding, not that the two, like Walmart and Target, do the same thing, but the power of the branding is knowing which one is my preference. Does that make sense? That's how I took that. Does that make sense?
It does. And let me go a little deeper. You have a preference because there is an experience associated with each one of those. So when you see that color, you see that logo, you are experiencing something. And I have so much love for Walmart, but my preference is Target because I don't have anxiety when I pull up in the parking lot because the aisles and the shelves aren't overstocked. There's space to shop. It doesn't feel like pandemonium in Target. Are there times when I do go to Walmart? Yes, but I'm bracing myself for that experience, mentally and physically.
Y'all better leave Wally World. Wally World, the opinions expressed by the guests.
It is. And so I do
time.
go to Walmart, but I've decided that I must do this at 6 o'clock, between 6 and 8 o'clock in the morning. And that's when I have the experience that's similar to Target at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the morning. Anytime outside of that, no.
And y'all know she's not lying. Y'all know we go to Walmart. Get up in the morning, y'all know she's not lying. You know you do not want to be caught in no Walmart anytime after 10 or whatever, depending on where you live. And really, we're making light of it, but that's a good analogy because it's the same thing with Coca-Cola. I love orange. I love orange, Fanta, whatever, knee-high, whenever I'm in the mood, or I may want a Fanta grape or Fanta strawberry. But my taste buds have a different experience with a Coca-Cola. There is nothing in my life that tastes like an ice cold Coca-Cola, period. I don't care if you put it in the freezer, have ice in it, it's ice cold, it's nothing compares to that ice cold crisp Coca-Cola. So yes, I will drink a strawberry or I will drink an orange when I'm in the mood for it. But no, it's gonna always be a ice cold Coke sitting in my refrigerator at all times. And if there's no Coca-Cola in this house, mama ain't happy and that ain't good. I'm just saying. So that makes it crystal clear. Branding brings you to the point of your experience with that thing or with that person or with that. That is so good, Vatrice. Now, do y'all know why y'all need to take branding and make it real important? Real important. Now, Because I'll give you another example. My virtual background. I have gray hair. This is all gray. This is my hair. So I've tried every kind of virtual, and I have some beautiful virtual backgrounds, right? Well, it dawned on me, what is going to work well with the fact that I have white hair, and I'm tired of looking at my head and going, what is that sticking up in the back of my virtual background? And it's actually my hair. It's not anything wrong with the virtual background. So I love black and white. I love black and white photos. I really do. And just yesterday, I just said, you know what? I'm going to try this because I love it. And because it's something I love. And I think it just speaks to who I am. And let me tell you, when I did it one interview yesterday, and when I got ready to do you, of course, it was gone. It dropped. Zoom, thank you for keep not saving my virtual backgrounds every time I log on, which you really should do. And when I went to add it for you, I almost scrolled down to a really nice white one. And I thought about it and I said, no, that I like. And I want that to represent what I am. And it made me so much more comfortable, because with other interviews, nobody can see it but me. I'm feeling very, very self-conscious because I can tell that everything isn't perfect. So I want, to me, I said, okay, this is another piece of my branding now, because this is what I enjoy. This is a good representation of who I am. And so if it makes people go, wow, that's different, that's me. I'm different. Wow, that's different. Yeah, that's me. Because I'll pull something crazy like that. No telling what you'll see in the next one. But so that's what branding means to me. And if you can do that, if you can get someone to teach you that, y'all need to take advantage of it. You really do. And if you're listening to Vatrice, I'm gonna pray about her, because she might be kind of like boot camp style for me. And and I might need a little bootstrapping right now. But I am serious. I was so not expecting this beautiful flow of conversation about something that's really, really important to me. And being done in a way that I could understand it. And I know that those listening can understand it. And they certainly know what your dream client is now. So don't cheat. Don't put on that paper that y'all really are ready for the structured type. And you know, for real, you're a hop around person. Because will you fire people if they don't? Have you ever had to fire somebody?
Oh, yes, I fired clients. Yeah.
She said that's so sweet, y'all. Y'all got to be scared when they come quiet like that. Oh, yeah.
It's not well, I see firing as us parting our ways so you can find someone who can really help you reach your goals within the time frame that you need to reach them. Because when you do a free consultation, which I have, when you do a free consultation with me, I'm going to find out all of those things through strategic questioning. And that's for me to determine if I truly can help you, because I don't want to waste your time. It's not just about me preferring to work with you, because there's still personality, even with the behavior. So let me just say this, there have been people who our personalities may clash, but we've done amazing work together because our work style and we follow a process. But I don't have to be your best friend to be your coach.
Really? Would you want your best friend to be your coach?
No, because they'll let you get away with everything.
No, I want my best friend to be I wouldn't want my best friend. I wouldn't want you to be my best. We can be friends, really.
Yeah. But I embrace all different types of personalities. I embrace it because it's an opportunity for me to grow, and we're all God's children. If He made us all alike, oh, the world would be such a dull place.
It would. It really would. It really would. So, do you want me to give them your website to go to book the
Sure. I wanted to offer on Thursday of each month, there's a free workshop there
Right.
called 5 Secrets to Scale Your Business.
Okay.
And what you'll do is go to my website, which is Affinity Media Consulting.com. And when you're in the website, there's a navigation button for coaching. And you can sign up for a free consultation there.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll give you information for joining that workshop, and we'll just chat and see what is going to work best for you in your particular situation with the business that you either want to start or revamp.
Did y'all take y'all notes? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put it in the show notes anyway, but if you need to get on there before the show airs, y'all needed to take those notes. Free workshop on Thursdays, how to scale your business, five secrets to scaling your business. Did I say that right? And navigation down to coaching. Schedule your free consultation and answer the questions correctly. Don't be cheap. You get to work with Miss Vatrice. Don't do that. Now, Vatrice, I'm going to ask you, can you come back again and talk to us about content? Do you talk to us
Most
about
definitely.
content? Because I know content is important. And talk to us if you have any, what's your advice about how many platforms to be on to begin? Not, I mean, because, you know, people gonna do what they want to do, but would you say focus on one until you get that one down pat and then add something else? Or, because, you know, we already talked about this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's just plain crazy. And I want to ask you, can you, because you know how algorithms change, Facebook. Can you just talk to us about that? Because I don't think a lot of people, you know, a lot of people, well, I post and nobody responds, and I post and nobody responds. And I think that's true of all of us, though. I don't think that's something that any of us are immune to, really. But
Yeah, so I could definitely come back because that's a longer conversation about that. But when in the program, there's also in week 4 an opportunity for you to build out your messaging, to develop your content. You already have it. You just need a good place, a repository for it, so you can refer to it and pull from it quickly. But there's an exercise that you'll go through in 3 lessons that helps you pull together all of your messaging in a repository that you or anybody on your team or in your business can access and pull from. And that ensures that the brand has unified messaging. Most times we struggle with social media because we don't know what to say.
yeah,
And we don't know what to say because we haven't developed our content or our messaging. Why haven't we developed our content or our messaging? Because we haven't defined who our dream clients are and what their pain points are, how we're going to serve them, and what value we can bring to them.
wow.
So you see how this works?
Yeah, I see how it works. Yeah, let me, because I'm gonna ask you a quick, something popped in my head. And if I don't stop this thing, my producer, my boss gonna have 10 heart attacks. And what were you doing? And what were you No, she's not. She said for me to, I know she wants me to quit saying that, but she does know she's my boss. And so she's in the back of my head. And I do know how to do what she tells me to do sometimes. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna focus on content and things like that. Messaging. And yeah, see how she did that so easily. We're going to come back and talk about messaging, how we message ourselves. Ooh, that's gonna be so good. Ooh, I'm going over in my head now. Gotta switch some folk around. No, I don't. No, I don't. I know. So y'all, this has been great. This has been great. This has been great. Let me ask you to do something for me. If you have enjoyed this conversation with Vatrice, please make sure you listen in next week to get the second part. If you have any questions that you have or anything like that, you can reach out to me at revpat@revpontheporch.com. Reach out to me, send me some questions. I'm not going to think of any more questions because my head is already full for Vatrice, and I know she's got so much more to give us. So I will see you back here next week on the porch. If you want to access exclusive content, exclusive conversations that are not a part of Porch Talk with Rev. Look, I don't even know the name of I'm so excited to talk. I don't even know the name of my podcast. So y'all know the name of this podcast, Porch Talk with Rev Pat. If you want to access exclusive content, which is called Beyond the Porch, you're going to have to sign up and become a subscriber to the podcast on Zippy Stream, ZIPISTREAM, and go there and subscribe to the podcast, and you get to get some uncut, unfiltered, unscripted conversation about a whole lot of different things, y'all. So if you're not ready for it, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're easily offended, don't do it, because some conversations might make your hair stand on the back of your neck. So it's not for the easily offended. It's for those that are willing to listen to other perspectives from other people. You might hear some stuff that I'm kind of really passionate about, and I can be a little bit unscripted. So if you're not ready for the real, don't subscribe. But if you're ready for that, go ahead and head over to Zippy Screen and subscribe. Thank you for joining me on the porch. Be blessed, my friends. Be blessed. More than anything, make sure you are a blessing to someone else. And I will see you back here next Friday.